Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new landscape photography vlog. Trying to stick with my promise to upload more, and today was a perfect day for that. It's another beautiful day here in Western New York, specifically along the 18 Mile Creek Gorge. As you guys saw by that little bit of B-roll, it is a very snowy day. I mean, just look at this trail here in front of me, gorge down there. It is a winter wonderland, if you will. And yeah, I got out of work as fast as I could so I could get to the woods as quick as I could. I got a little ways to go before I get into the sort of meat and potatoes of this little local woodland of mine. And once we get there, pick things back up. I did take a few photos already near the parking lot. Something that I think maybe will actually work. Today is also kind of important because these are the exact type of conditions that I have been waiting for and have actually had the opportunity to like take advantage of to be able to make images for that project I am working on. So fingers crossed we can get some stuff for that today, because today, I mean, it's about as perfect as it gets to grab images like that, at least the ones that I'm looking for. So fingers crossed, and I'll see you guys down trail. So admittedly, I thought my microphone receiver was fully charged. Spoiler alert, it's not. I don't know how I'm so bad with keeping that damn thing charged, so we're just gonna use the built-in microphone of the old Osmo Action, which is probably not gonna be great, but it's better than nothing, right? So I hiked down this little side trail, which kind of brings you into the gorge, at least right on the edge of the creek that runs through here, 18 Mile Creek. And I mean, it's a gorgeous scene. I always call it like the Narnia effect, if you've ever seen that movie. Probably know what I'm talking about. I mean, just look at this. And I believe the mic is a little bit better on this side when the camera's facing away from me. And yeah, this tree right here, leaning over, beautifully snow covered, some ice chunks in the river. I love it. So I'm gonna set up here and frame this up. I just love the tree just hanging on for dear life, as it is covered with snow, and that is probably not helping its case, but yet it persists still. So I am gonna try to frame this up. I'm gonna need to put the polarizer on. The lens hood is gonna come in beautifully clutch today, and I'm just so glad to be out here. The sun is setting a little bit later nowadays, maybe like 30 minutes than it was a month ago, which is great. I mean, that obviously always happens, but it's just great because I got just that much extra time to be out here. The only downside is after I move on from this area, I gotta hike way back up that steep hill there, and it is slippery. I decided to not bring my snowshoes because, well, this is really the first snow we've gotten since it all melted. And I think we only got about 6 inches, maybe to a foot, which I think is manageable. Any deeper than that, I'd probably want snowshoes. So it'll be fun getting back up that. The other thing I'm noticing too is look at all these ice chunks floating their way down into the creek there. Very nice. Set up the composition. I am down on my knees here just so I can get the camera a little bit lower, because I do have a smaller tree here that I don't want its branches impeding in the top of the frame. And I'm trying to get this tree out of the way. Ideally, if I could get down there, it'd probably be best. But I mean, I've been here before in the summer to know that there is a little bit of bank down here, but it's just a little sketchy doing it when you can't see anything, because I don't want to just step into the water. But I mean, just look at that. I just feel so lucky right now to be out here and see this. I'm also using the rocks, with the snow-covered rocks in the creek as a little bit of a nice foreground element. I think it's adding some interest in what would otherwise maybe be a bit of a dead spot in the comp, because they kind of form a nice diagonal leading your eye to where those branches come down and meet those two boulders right there. Absolutely gorgeous. And the snow is picking up too, which is making it even better. I'm going to take another frame here. F11, metering 1/50 at ISO 800. I'm going to probably lower the ISO all the way down to 100 and do a long exposure and see what that looks like. Though it is a little windy, so I don't want like the exposure to be so long where the branches start to move in the frame and they're, you know, all blurry. So I'm trying to balance that right now. Keep a fine line. I'm going to check some of these images here and make sure everything is still. But I mean, just look at this. This is incredible. My bag is getting covered with snow. Yeah. Couldn't be happier to be out here right now. I'm going to try to see if I can get down here a little bit as safely as I can. And then I'm just going to try some with the polarizer on, with the polarizer off. Because my polarizer does tend to lean a little bit to the warm side. And I don't want any color cast. I'd like to keep it as neutral as possible. I'd say I can tweak it in post, but the less tweaking I can do, the better. So, yeah, let's try and do that right now. Going to take a few without the polarizer, move positions, and really spend some time with the scene because I really, really like it. So it was a lot easier to get down here than I thought, which is nice. Shout out to this trunk, which is going to help me get back up. But now I've got a much better view of this tree here. Less things obstructing. And I'm going for a bit of a vertical comp here. I don't know why you guys can see that, but I think vertical could work nicely. The rocks, again, helping a lot in the foreground, especially some of the ice that's starting to form here and just the line created by the snowbank here. It's just phenomenal. I mean, normally I would move on to the next scene, but I am really enjoying not only the photo, but the moment itself. I mean, because these goggles I'm wearing are kind of acting as a neutral density filter, so when I take these things off, it's just like, it's an entirely different world because it's so much brighter. Like, all the snow is just this bright white, and it just looks incredible. Yeah. Not sure which one I'm gonna end up liking better, the vertical or the horizontal. I'm leaning vertical just because it has a bit more depth to it. I feel like when I go landscape orientation, I have a tendency to want to like crop in more, so I kind of like cut more of the tree out. You kind of lose its arc and its shape, and it's the way all the movement is and the branches. So I don't know, it's definitely going to be a close call. I'm going to keep taking these at F11. I'm going to try landscape orientation again soon, and then I'd like to move on and see what else we can find here. Now I am focusing on a couple of snow-covered trees on the opposite gorge wall there. I don't know how well these ones are going to turn out, but I can never pass up an entirely snow-covered tree like that. So just taking a few sort of experimental shots. Did a couple vertical, did a couple landscape to include the tree on the left there with another smaller tree on the right. And yeah, taking one more frame here. And then I'm gonna pack up and move out of here. Not sure what time it is. Let me just check right quick. 3:34. All right. So I've got about an hour and a half before sunset. I think sunset's just after 5 right now. So got about an hour and a half, 90 minutes, call it, until I want to be like heading back. So I think I spent a decent amount of time with this. Did a couple vertical, did a couple landscape. Did a couple landscape with the intention to crop to maybe a 4x5 or a 4x3. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe a square even. Square could always work. Can never forget about the square crop. And yeah, all right. This battery is like at half health, so we need to get moving. So as you can tell, I've climbed my way out of the gorge and headed further into the woods here. I really like this little side chute as opposed to following the main trail. It does offer some views of the gorge, but I don't really like them too much from top down. I'd rather be down there in the gorge, if anything, which is really not going to be a possibility at this place. Kind of like at Letchworth, but I digress. I really like this trail. Nobody's walked on it recently. There's no footprints. And I mean, just look at this. It is absolutely gorgeous in here. The hard part now is going to be trying to actually find a composition that's going to work. So overwhelming to have conditions like these, and at least for me personally, it's kind of like, you know, when's it going to look like this again? And if you don't pull something now, odds are you probably won't ever, at least for the foreseeable future, because all it's going to take is for a windstorm to come through here and all the snow is going to be gone off the trees, back onto the ground, and things will look a little bit more drab, as opposed to magical like they do right now. But yeah, today, like I said, today's main goal was to try to go out and take advantage of these conditions, so I'm trying my best to do that, trying to vlog, and really hoping I can pull some images for my new ebook project, A World Gone Cold. If you want to hear about what that project entails, I highly recommend going to my website. There's a link to that in the description, heading over to the projects page, and there you'll be able to read a couple paragraphs about what this project is about. Like I said, it's going to be an ebook. There'll probably be 40 to 60 images in it, and very, very excited to be working on this. It's given me a goal this winter, where I'd otherwise be kind of aimlessly taking photos to add to my portfolio, which isn't always a bad thing, but it is nice to have a little goal that you set for yourself. But I just wanted to update you guys. I'm gonna have a nice slow little walk through here. I know I just gotta go that way. There are some trailblazes, but they might be covered up by snow, but I know my way around here pretty darn well. I already see a potential subject over there, maybe a beech tree that is marcesced, looking absolutely gorgeous. And again, fingers crossed we find something. Still good to know that I've got the photo we did earlier with the tree over the creek. Fingers crossed that's going to turn out, but you know, if it does, we at least got one thing in the bag, and that makes me feel good, but not enough to kind of put it in cruise control, if you will. So yeah, let's see what we can see. So something really quickly I wanted to point out, which I guess is one thing to sort of keep in mind when you're out in the woods on a day like today, looking for images, or maybe not. I'll use this tree right in front of me here as an example. So you can see that the right side of the tree is covered with snow and the left side of the tree is not. Obviously that is telling us that the snow is coming from that direction. And obviously if you look at the trees this way, they don't look super snow covered, but if you turn 90 degrees to the left, then everything is basically just completely white out. So I'm going to, it's just an interesting observation I made, because I looked this way and I was like, oh, the trees don't look that great. Wait, the direction of the snow is going to make everything to my left look a lot better. So any potential subjects I see, I'm going to have to try to be on the right side of them, looking to the left, to really get the maximum value out of that plastering snow on the side. Like these 4 little trees right here in front of me, just as an example. But yeah, figured I'd point that out. Really neat observation. Obviously it tells you which way the prevailing winds are coming from. You know, how to keep your face away from the snow if you're trying to stay out of the wind and stuff like that. But also if you're just trying to take pictures of it as it starts to fall down off the trees here. I mean, look at that. The snow has kind of died down a little bit, but every now and then the wind kind of knocks a big puff of snow down from above and creates its own little bit of atmosphere. Very hard to catch that kind of stuff. You gotta be right place, right time, and just hope that the wind picks up where you need it to. But yeah, very neat observation. Gonna keep making my way that way and keep looking left. So I made my way back onto the trail. Got a little sidetracked, but all trails guided me back on. Which I think is funny, because I was like, yeah, I know where I'm going, but yeah, when those trail markers get covered up, it makes it a little difficult. But regardless, still looking for some scenes. I think I might have found 1 or 2 back there. Just took a couple kind of like experimental frames. I don't know if they'll turn into anything. If they don't, it's no big deal. But yeah, I mean, it's freaking gorgeous out here. Just the hard part is trying to find something that I feel works and isn't just forced, you know? So I followed the trail eventually to where it meets this nice smaller tributary to the main creek. Found a couple scenes here, nothing too crazy. It's a little stressful just because of how amazing everything looks right now, but I'm also trying to still look for images that have more depth to them, in terms of not something that just looks pretty, trying to find something that tells a little bit of a story as well, and that's a little tough to do. That's why I don't really come to this woodland too much unless I have like a time crunch, which was basically today as a time crunch. And you know, you got to make do with what you got. It's always a little bit more challenging here, I find, to find scenes, and that's why I usually only come here when it's like really crazy conditions on top of a time crunch, just because those conditions can really help make that this place feel a bit more manageable, I guess. I was over there, my camera died, because I think these batteries are just going to keep dying over and over again. I don't know how much longer this vlog's going to go, because how cold it is. It's like -13 feels like 17 regular temperature. But yeah, I found a couple scenes over there, trying to play around with the contrast of snow-covered pine trees against the regular deciduous trees and their trunks. I think that is starting to look really nice. I did find one small lone beech tree over there that had some nice shape to it, that was kind of isolated. Went with a nice vertical orientation shot of that, so hopefully that turns out. But I'm going to kind of walk back over there right now and you know, see what I can see. Maybe give those scenes another shot. But I will have to be heading back soon, because it is going to get dark soon, unfortunately, and I can see the wind picking up in the canopy up there, which means all the snow on the trees is probably not going to be here much longer. And yeah, there's my camera all covered in snow. Hopefully I'm not ruining this camera because the screen was flickering a little bit when I put the new battery in. I hope it's not just water damage or something. Hopefully it's just got a little too cold, but we'll see. If this vlog never comes out, it's because I ruined this camera, but this camera needs to be upgraded anyways, so there'd be an excuse to get a new one. But yeah, let's keep heading back that way. We will not be doing any ice climbing today. That's for damn sure. Okay, well, it's getting dark and I'm on my way out of here and this battery's dying fast. So we're gonna wrap up the vlog. A couple positives to take away though. I think we got at least 2 to 3 solid images. Whether or not they'll make it into the ebook I'm working on is another question. They definitely have a chance. I've also got a giant folder and gallery and Lightroom with all the images that could have potential to make their way in, and I'll be curating those towards the end of the winter if you were curious. But I'm also kind of proud of myself today for not only getting out here, but to holding myself to a certain standard and not just going, you know, spray and pray kind of thing. Really just looking around and observing and holding out for those above average scenes. So we'll see if that mentality paid off when we get back into Lightroom. And by the time this video gets posted, those videos may or may not already be shared on my social media, which is a reminder, you should follow me there if you aren't already. That's where I post most often. Facebook, Instagram, and also again, check out my website.